Oceanicar, Galele, Jaquedo, Kohig, Wavelevens, Dawatong, Kohig, Josko, Sudale, Nachalagia, de Lo, Quasti. Hello, my name is Wade Blevins, and welcome to Cherokee 3 here at RSU TV. My name is, we are on the 36th Cherokee lesson. So hopefully you have been getting a lot of good information. Today, of course, we will continue on with a sentence in our reading selection from the story about the beautiful snake. And we're going to take a little bit of time, and there's a really interesting, I think it's in today's lesson, there's a really interesting kind of language point in it, and the sentence that we're going to do today really exhibits it well. It was, I know for me, I had heard it before, but it really, when I read this sentence, it just really started to click for me. So hopefully I'll help it click for you guys today as well. And then, of course, we will go on with our informational article about Toju Wasiquanid and why he was so important to the Cherokee people. So we'll go slow, we'll take our time. Don't worry if you don't feel like you're getting it, or you know, if you feel like I'm expecting too much from you. All I expect you to do is to sit and to listen, and hopefully acquire more of the language than what you had before you started. Of course, if you're taking listening to this for college credit, of course there will be you know, benchmarks and expectations that your teacher will have for you. But as far as me myself, I just want you to be exposed to it, and you're going to acquire it when you get there. Okay, so come, Elena, talagi diwone. All right, here is our reading selection today. I have gone ahead, we're kind of far enough along in the story now that I will go ahead and we'll read what we've done up to this point just to kind of get you back into it. So let's read it very slowly. You can read it with me, or you can just listen. I'll try to go really, really slow, okay? Uwoduhi unchati inata kohig jike seki ehe kanohi li dohi ni kai gohustino ahyohi hei osta agisti galujik saku ika I aisa ji squa ju hyo tlahi u go heno usti inat gan ke no hulti uwo du jahi unajei inat uwo duhi unjati ale udanti niguste da di kanti gano hili don hino ulestane. Okay. U tostane uyosiske di kan di gisquano dunanele asi nuena dagu. Here's the new one. Hilaskino nun do takwe na I se ji stu Te kane, te kane he. Ju hyo tlan he. I na iu go he. I na da. I gang ge. U wo du he. U dan di. Ni go stay in. Okay, so as we read through here, you might notice there are some words in here that we kind of understand, but they've got extra sounds in them, and there's a really interesting reason why. Okay, so this one here, he los que no nun do takwo. So he lushke a few nun do takwo, a few weeks later. Okay, so in a few weeks, na and that. Okay, here's our first one. We have e say. Okay, if we took that e off there and we just said say. Okay, that means he was walking. Okay. Se means he was again walking. He was walking again. Okay, so this e sound in the front of se means he was doing it again. Okay. Se. So a few weeks later, se, he was walking again. Gistu, rabbits. Okay. Dekanehi, was carrying them. Okay. Something flexible. Dekanehi. He was carrying rabbits. Okay. And we know he was carrying more than one rabbit because it has this de in front, that D sound. So we know he was carrying more than one thing, and it's flexible. So, and it's not alive. So it's flexible and not living, so they're dead rabbits, right? That he shot. So probably they would be dead, right? Okay. Then we have u go he. If we take the e off of there and we just said u go he, he saw it. U go he. We've used that word many times. U go he. Okay. Or u go huh. Either way, u go he. So if say means he was walking again, what would go he? What would that mean? Go he? Go he? Means he again saw it. He saw it again. Okay? So he saw it again. He was walking again. Not. Okay? The snake. Here's another word. Ge. Okay? Again, if we take the e off there and we just say ge, that means he was laying there. Ge. He was laying there. Right? We learned that word right here. Ge, laying. Okay? And here it is again, but now it has e in front. So ganke means he was laying there. What would ganke mean? Okay, he was again laying there. So, or even in this case, we might even say he was still laying there. Okay. The uwo do he was still pretty. He was laying there pretty. Udon tinigo stay. And he looked friendly. Okay, so so the snake that the pretty snake that was laying there who looked pretty. He was walking again, and he again saw it. It was still laying there. So I really, really like this sentence. And for me, having this E sound in so many words in the sentence that we had previously, it really kind of triggered my brain to be like, oh, okay, that E sound means again. So let's read through it together. He luskino nun do taku na I a I se G stu de kane he ju hyo tlahi I u go he I nad I gan ke u wo du hi u don ti ni go stay. Okay. One more time. He tlaskino nun do taku na I a I se G stu de kane he I ju hyo tlahi I u go he I nad I gan ke u wo du hi u don ti ni go stay. Okay? So one more time, when you see a word that otherwise you would know and it's got this E in front of it, what is that going to tell us? It means again, okay? It's something that they're doing another time, right? Okay, let's read through our story about Tojuwa Sikwanid. I'll read through it for you. Just listen, or you can read through it with me if you want to work on your reading fluency. And then we'll continue on with the story just a little bit. So, he yolegis he a askaya a hetli chikatog. Niole ganyik Redbird Smith do don't Tojuwa Sikwani do don't Jalagiga de. Sida ojali he lega he in juske daskai. Sagu iagayel chanel skohe sku hig skohe u dane Tojuwa Sikwanid. Kohi chik guye goni sonela du sine ojali he li gon ude ti yiska klaskeno doyoganto do ude ti yiska. Tojuwa Sikwanid ude ti yiska yinulstan ani gadu wagi ani yawi ya gatiyo anego. Gato ke Tojuwa Sikwanid ulsked jig. Tojuwa udod pig smith do don Sikwanid jalagika ti do do Only Smith ani yoneg do no Ase gotlana aski jage san yusti. Tojuwa uji Lizzie Hildebrand do don Iju la jalagi ale ade jage san. Jalagi uweti di stoski dalus taneha Lizzie udod. Ijul jukayelege uweti jalagi nanda neha do no hi hune. Di da na whisky ge se udod. Nu de na sito juhwa. Ani kaya lege dinina whisky. Unino sele. Sikonid tojuhwa. Dida tinehi. Ni dagas tanisa. Klaskin. He hesti. Ni gas tana. Sikonid unasa. Agusa sam. Tojua udehyodi. Anoji ayanwi ya gesen agusa sam. Nulstanana ale uweti unino hetlan anijalagi anigusa ale aninoji dak tahe agusa sam. Osta adelo kwaski gehen tojuwa. Udanto ale ton gawoniski gehen. Du yukta no le ji yukta gehen. Sagu iyagayel chanelsko et skusonelsko. Tojuwa anigiduwagi ajistani gestan skadugi. Didatini dohi gehen. Nahiyu jagesa jalagi aneha ayatohi hangehe. Une gujit nandaneha. Jalagi ayetli udigale yojan gesa. Dan kliha unlenaha undalena undatliga. Squeezed ani yoneganehe. Kla unelagi elisa yigese. Ani yoneg dudotlansa udulihe ayatasti anijalagi aneha. Ani yoneg das commission unotlanhe. Duni sesti aneha anijalagi. Das commission undulihe ayetli unitisti kadon anijalagi. Kadon unihe nigoda anijalagi kla anisiyanwi ha yigese. Ani yoneg undulihe dunhineti. Kadon nigod anijalagi aneha. Nole duni skoldoti ani yoneg untehti kadon. Kla yunduliske anijalagi yinulstoti. Nigalstanuska, Anigatuwagi, Dindatinehi, Aneliske, Duyukta Galohisti, Unke una Unkewuska, Una Keoska, okay? Unetlanahi, Duna Keosa, Aneliske, Anikituwagi. Okay, and we talked about, that was I think the last place that we got to, and we were talking about the word to forget, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll read on just a little bit, okay? This says, Anigayala, Hi'a, Nuniwesela, Tojuwa, Jido Heleta, Jalagi, Iyunadanti, Jigalosohansky. Okay. Ooh, that one's going to be an interesting one. All right. So Anigayala, the old ones, the elders, okay, Anigayala, Hi'a, this, Nuniwe Sela, they told him, okay, so the elders told him this, told Juwa this. Jido Heleda, Jalagi, Iyunatante, okay, Jigalo Sohansky, okay, Jigalo Sohansky. So, Jido Heleda, that means to lift them up, okay, to raise them up. Jalagi, Cherokee, Iyunatante, what the Cherokees do. So the Cherokee culture or the Cherokee ways, okay. Jigaloso Husky, the ones that are Jigaloso Husky, the ones that are leaving, okay? So this is kind of a flowery way, okay? So Anikayel hi ani nuwe sela tojuhwa. So the elders told this to Tojuhwa. Jito ha leta talagi iyunatante jigaloso husky. So lift up the Cherokee ways that are leaving. Okay, so they're basically telling him to revive the Cherokee religion, okay? To kind of, not really to bring them back, but to lift them up, to take them to a new height, right? To bring them up. So, because at this time, it's not that we didn't have our culture, but a lot of things were because of relocation and the Civil War and all the upheaval and all of these things that had happened, our communities had become fragmented. And so a lot of our ceremonies and our ways and our religion and our beliefs, they were kind of disjointed and they were scattered among the different people who lived in different communities all across all across the Cherokee land. And so the old folks told Juhua that it was going to be his task to kind of bring all of this back together and to lift it up and to enjoy kind of a renaissance of our culture. Okay? All right, let's read the next one and let's see what else it says. And we'll read it literally and then we'll play around with the sounds. So this says Udadanesku di dadlosti galagodi wunesti. Okay? So udadane, if we change that, we say utadanesku. Also, they asked him, utadanesku, they also asked him, didatlosti, belts, plural, more than one, didatlosti. That's the word for a belt. Galagwodi, the sacred belts, wunesti, to go get them, okay? To go get them. We learned the word huinegi, right? Go get it right now, okay? Wunesti means for him to go and get, okay? Wunesti, for him to go and get, okay? So utadanesku didatlosti galagwodi wunesti. So they also asked him to go and get the sacred belts. Okay, so real quickly, I want to talk about the sacred belts. There's another word for the sacred belts that I don't. That I know it's like dikanawa dusty adela. And then there's another word in there, and really quickly I'll look that up. So let's see here. Oh, dikanaj. Okay, so to me that's dikanaj is like the sins or something like that, and it doesn't have the word belt in there anywhere, but that's another word that they have for the wampum belts. But I think probably at this time they weren't really known that way. But we could have used that word adela. We could have said utadanesku adela didadlosti galakti galagodi wunesti, and that would have been the bead belts. Okay, so adela you might know as the word for money, but it is also our word for a bead. Adela means a bead, and of course these beads were before we had money, because of course before Europeans came we didn't have the concept of money, and so beads, particularly wampum beads, were used as a means of currency, and they were used as a means of exchange, as well as used as a means for recording information. So, I'm going to take just a little time, and we're going to talk about the cultural aspects. I don't know that we've talked about the wampum belts. Wampum belts were made from they were handmade beads from the quahog clam, And the quahog clam was along the easterns, and there's just a little part that's purple, and they would use that, and then they would have white ones. And so there were two colors of beads. There were purple ones, or almost black, and then there were the white ones. And these were used by all the tribes east of the Mississippi. These were a common means of exchange. Our relatives up north, they would use them to seat people, like if somebody was a chief or a clan mother or had a ceremonial position as part of their office that they gave to them, they had a string of these wampum beads that were in a certain order, and they would carry these with them as a kind of as a badge of office. But then they were woven into these big belts, and I'll get a picture of the belts, the Cherokee belts, and of course it's a black and white picture, but I'll get one so that you can see. Some of them are very small, some of them, you know, are very, very, and then some of them are longer than a man, you know. And the history of these belts is contested, but as when we get to that part, I'll tell you a little bit more about the belts and kind of the different thinking about where these belts come from and what they mean and what they're for, how we use them today, or how they've been used in modern times, and that kind of thing. So, so we could put the word adela in there to signify that these were the bead belts, the wampum belts that we're specifically talking about. Okay? So they also asked him to go and get the sacred belts. All right. Bob Ross, do not di da dlosti, claw skin ju jeli. Yige say. Okay, so Bob Ross, do not Bob Ross had them, didotlost, the belts. So Bob Ross had the belts. Skin, however, to jeli yige say, they were not his. Okay. So, Bob Ross do not didotlosti, klaskin to jeli yige say. Okay, Bob Ross had the bit, but they didn't belong to him. Okay, so let's go back through and let's read through them again, and then as we've done in the past, I'll pick out certain words, and we'll see if we can remember what they were. Okay, so idigolia, anigayala, hia, nuniwe sela, tojuhua, jido haleta, jalagi, iyunadanti, jigalo so husky. Utadanesku, didatlosti, galagudi, wunesti. Bob Ross, do not didadlosti, klaskin, jujeli, yige se in. Let's read through it a little bit faster. Ani ka la hi a nu ni we se le. To ju hua chi to han le to. Chalaki iu na tante. Chikalo so han ski. Okay. Katohyat to ju hua. Katohyat to ju hua. Katohyat to ju hua. To ju hua, red bird. Katohyat chalaki. Katohyat chalaki. Cherokee. Katohyat anigayel. Katohyat anigayel. Elders, ancestor, old folks, anigayel. Can also be parents. Katohyat nu niwe sela. Nu niwe sela. Katohyat nu niwe sela. They told him. Katohyat iu nadante. Iu nadante. Iu nadante is what they do. Iu nadante. Katohyat chito haleta. Chito haleta. Katohyat chito haleta. Chito haleta means raise them up. Raise them up. Chito haleta. Raise them up. Katohyat chikalo so husky. Chikalo so husky. That are leaving. Chikalo so husky. That are leaving. Chikalo so husky. Okay, let's try the next one. Katohyat utatanesku. Katohyat utatanesku. They also asked him utatanesku. Katohyat wunesti. 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 Him to go get him. Him to go get him. Katohyat titatlosti. Titatlosti. Belts. Belts, plural. Atatlost, one belt. Titatlost, more than one belt. Katohyat kalawodi. Kalawodi. Sacred. Now, you may recognize and you may remember we've talked about this word galawod. Can also be like to like or to love something. It's related to the word galakt. Okay? Galawod. Katohyat do na do na Katohyat do na do na He had them, plural. He had plural things, do na He had them, plural, do na Katohyat jujele. Katohyat jujele. Jujele. They're his. Jujele. They're his. Katohyat die dat lost. Die dat lost. Belts. Katohyat yegese. Yegese. Not, right? Okay, so I just want to take a couple of minutes and we're going to talk about this word jujele. You might recognize there's jujele. Whenever I hear the word jujele, I always think of there's a hymn, and I can't quite bring it to my head right now, but the word jujele. It means they belong to him or her. Okay, they're his or hers. Okay. Awajele, awajele, it's mine. Okay, awajele, it's mine. So sometimes, like if let's say we're at a meeting somewhere and somebody finds a phone in the bathroom, and they'll say, "Kagu jele, whose is this? Who does this belong to?" And you say, "Oh, yeah, awajele." Okay, it's mine. Awajele, it's mine. Okay? Now, if we're talking about more than one thing and we want to say they are mine, they're mine, how would you say that? How would you do that? Okay, we take that fancy, the trusty little D sound, and we put it in front of awa. So we say dawajele, they are mine. Dawajele, they're mine. Okay? Jajele, jajele, yours. Jajele, does it belong to you? It belongs to you. Okay? If you're going to ask a question, is it yours? Jajelis? Is that yours? Jajelis? And then, of course, ujele. It is his. And then, of course, in this case, we have jujele. They are his. Okay? Okay, jujele. And then, of course, in this one, it says, Klaskin jujele yigese. But it's not his, right? However, it wasn't, they weren't his. Okay? All right, let's go on to the next sentence. Oh, this is our last sentence. Okay. So, real quickly, I just want to, let's make a slide, and I will type that out for you just so you can, okay? So you can have it for your knowledge, okay? Okay. So we have awajele, it is mine. Jajele, it is yours. Ujele, it is his or hers. Then we have unjele, It is theirs. Okay? And then I'll give you a couple of okay, I'll do that one. Okay, so there's a couple of instances for you. Okay. So let's look at this. And so now you'll have this, it's on paper. You can, write this out if you want to, if that's how you learn best. Or some people just seeing it helps. So, and some people hearing it's fine. So, awajele, it's mine. Tajele, it's yours. Ujele, it's his or hers. Unjeli, it's theirs. It belongs to them, right? Jajelis, so if you have that s at the end, jajelis, okay, is it yours? And probably Eastern Band would be like tzadzeli has or tzadzeli haskon would be how they would ask, is it yours? But around here, most people, they say just jajelis. Tla wajeli, it's not mine. Tla wajeli, it's not mine. Okay? Awajeli, jajeli, ujeli, unjeli. Okay? And then, of course, as it is in the sentence, jujeli, yigese. Klashkin jujeli, yigese. However, it's not theirs. All right, so that brings us to the end of this lesson for today. Hopefully, you've gotten some good information out of it. These last couple lessons, we've really gotten some good words that we can use, kind of everyday conversations. Awa keos, I forgot it, right? Awa jeli, it's mine, right? So hopefully these are helpful to you. And so from all of us here at RSU TV and Cherokee Nation, we just want to say wadon, galeleg, and dondago ha'i, till we see each other again.